Good morning and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here this morning with Fred and Stella, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today is Stella's ability to understand and respond to her obedience commands, the corrections and motivations that we give her while we are working with her, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he's going to keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, leaving his left hand free to give the correction. The correction that we give is a tug and let go on the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Stella's been fitted with her own personal training collar, and we'll show you how to properly use this during your one-on-one lesson. As you can see, Stella is seated very nicely on Fred's left, which is where all our obedience training is done. And the first exercise they're going to demonstrate is heeling, which is proper walking on a leash. Fred and Stella take off doing that now. The command you want to use for this is Stella heel, and then you just start walking and she will follow right alongside you. She should walk nicely at your pace on your left-hand side without pulling ahead or lagging behind. And we've also incorporated an automatic sit, as you see right there. Anytime Fred stops his feet, Stella will sit. You can see her tail wagging, and she constantly looks at Fred as she's paying attention to his commands. There's another automatic sit. And the next exercise they're going to be demonstrating for you is the stay command. The stay is a hand and voice command. Fred will use the open flat of his left palm, an inch or so from Stella's muzzle, and the one-word command to stay. He then walks out to the end of the training leash. It's a great exercise to build up self-control in Stella. You want to start practicing this one at about a minute and work your way up in increments to about 3 minutes. And when Fred returns back to Stella, he's going to walk all the way around her, providing an added distraction as he goes behind her, and right back to that left-hand side heel position. She remains seated throughout. He gives her a little praise, and they take off heeling again. We'll show you a little more of the heel, the sit, and the stay. There's an automatic sit there.
Stay.
And he gives her the stay again, and back out to the end of the training leash. This time, instead of returning back to Stella, he'll demonstrate the come or the recall command and call her in using her name in a nice voice. She comes in, sits nicely right in front of you. And then we have an exercise called the finish, where she'll heel around the back to get right back to that left-hand side heel position. Just going to demonstrate it one more time for you. Leave her in a sit stay, out to the end of the training leash. Call her in using her name, and she comes in, sits right in front. And then the finish, she'll heel around the back and right back to that left-hand side. Excellent job. He gives her a little praise, and they take off heeling again. It's a good time to remind you want to give both Stella and Guinness about 15-20 minutes a day of their own time to work on their obedience commands, just to keep the commands fresh in their mind. You can practice inside or outside your home and just incorporate the commands into your daily routine. Now we're going to show you our down commands. The first is down from a heel position. Fred will use the open flat of his left palm straight down towards the ground and the one-word command to down. He then gives her a stay and walks out to the end of the training leash. This is another great exercise to build up self-control in Stella. You want to start this one at about 3 minutes and work your way up in increments to about 5. And when Fred returns back to Stella, he's going to walk all the way around her as he did on the sit stay and right back to that left-hand side heel position. She remains down throughout, and they take off heeling again. We'll demonstrate that down for you one more time. He gives her the down and the stay. Back out to the end of the training leash. And this time he'll demonstrate that come or recall command right out of the down. She comes in right to him, even with the distraction of the biker going by, sits right in front. And then the finish, where she heels around the back of him and right back to his left-hand side. Excellent job. And they take off heeling again. And give them a second to get lined up for our final command, which will be down from a distance. This will be the down from a distance.
Stay.
You're going to leave Stella in the sit stay and walk out to the end of the training leash. It's the only time you want to use your right hand to give the command, and Fred will drop Stella into a down from the end of the training leash. He'll then return back to her once again by walking all the way around and right back to that left-hand side heel position. Nicely done. Alright, we've demonstrated for you the obedience commands that Stella has learned here at school. It's been a pleasure working with Stella, and we thank you again for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.